It's easy to imagine how many things received their names. I doubt if the anteater or trouser press have many scratching their heads, and even the less obvious words, their etymologies buried in the past, tend to be pretty accessible with some instruction in old languages. But what about those elements of the cosmos that have always been known to us, since before we were even human? Some things are so perennially present and always already known that it seems strange to think that names ever had to be thought up for them. Specifically, those phenomena that stand in the sky address our consciousness in a way quite unlike things down on Earth, and always have done. This is not to say that sublime and sacred qualities cannot be found in the Earth. The Earth itself has always been seen as living and imbued with divinity. But the very fact of being celestial, removed from the Middle Earth, and standing in the inviolable space of the heavens, which does not appear to us to suffer change, has always and inevitably filled those objects that occupy the sky with limitless holiness. Even besides the objects seen in it, the sky itself is witness to a hierophany, that is, an appearance of the sacred, in the terms of Mircea Eliade, that requires no imagination to conjure up. Merely contemplating the vault of heaven produces a religious experience in the primitive mind. The sky shows itself as it really is, infinite, transcendent. The sky and its objects, sun, moon, and stars, embody utter permanence, being, not becoming. Except, the sun rises and falls to rise again every day, the stars wheel about in the heavens, and the moon wanes away to nothing. But far from detracting from its sacrality, this is the very quality that marks the moon apart, and gives it its unique modality of the sacred. The death that the moon undergoes is in a way sympathized with by man. The sun, by contrast, is always the same, always itself, never in any sense becoming. The moon, on the other hand, is a body which waxes, wanes, and disappears, a body whose existence is subject to the universal law of becoming, of birth and death. Man saw himself reflected in the life of the moon. His hopes of a rebirth gain confirmation from the fact of there always being a new moon. Unlike our Gregorian solar calendar, many cultures have traditionally a lunar or lunar-solar calendar, where the months correspond to the phases of the moon. The word month, from Old English månad, comes fairly intuitively from the word moon. It is equivalent to the word moon plus the suffix th, like we see in the word depth from deep. That suffix forms a noun of the quality of an adjective. A month is one moonth, hence the stock phrases like many moons ago, etc. This th suffix is no longer productive linguistically. You couldn't tack it on to the end of a word without it just sounding funny. It's become fossilized onto the words to which it was added. It's a bit of a shame, really. I rather like the sound of sunth as an alternative to year. This suffix is directly related to the Latin itas, which is where we get our e and ity form in words like mystery and generosity. Is month in Latin, therefore, lunitas? Instead, no. The Romance languages have words like Italian mese for month, directly from the same root as Germanic words like English month and German monat. The modern Romance words for moon, from the Latin luna, originate from a word meaning bright, the Proto-Indo-European root leuk, which is also the possible ancestor of the word look, having connotations originally of to see. The Romance words for month have outlasted the word for moon that they originally came from. This goes some way to demonstrate how bound up these two phenomena are cross-linguistically. To go a level further, seeing the month as being named after the moon is arguably the opposite of the ultimate source of these words. While luna replaced earlier words from the same root as moon in reference to a secondary quality of brightness, the original Proto-Indo-European root is in fact not itself some axiom that simply means moon, with no reference to any quality or concept besides. The PIE root mech meant to measure, hence we get the word mechns, which means both month and moon. The word moon stems ultimately from a word meaning to measure. So this most ancient of celestial phenomena has a very earthly name, almost pragmatic, a secondary name applied to it in relation to other concepts, like phenomena that are its inferior. This fits in perfectly with what Eliade has to say about religious notions surrounding the moon. In its impermanence but constant return, in which man sees himself reflected, the moon is an object against which man measures his own existence. That is, the phases of the moon's waxing and waning form a portion of the cosmic life that can provide a context to our own position in it with more precision and structure than the sun's relentless rise and fall each day. It is one to which we can relate. Like the profane, mortal objects of the lower world, the moon was named for its function. And what of the sun? Does its name, like the moon, come in reference to other concepts? Well, I think that's a story for another time. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe for more. If you'd like to support this channel, please also consider donating to my Patreon. You'll find a link in the description. This and all of the WORDLORE series are actually recordings of blog posts from my Substack. You'll find a link to that in the description as well.